Thursday, November 12, 1952. Sing Sing Correctional Facility, Austining, New York. Bumpy Johnson had been incarcerated for 8 months on a narcotics conspiracy conviction that everyone who mattered knew was politically motivated. The Manhattan District Attorney needed a high-profile arrest to show he was tough on Harlem crime, and Bumpy was the biggest target available. The evidence was circumstantial. The witnesses were coerced. The trial was rigged. But Bumpy was convicted anyway and sentenced to 15 years at Sing, one of the most brutal maximum security prisons in America. At 48 years old, Bumpy had survived prison before. He'd done time in Alcatraz in the 1930s, but Sing in 1952 was different, more violent, more corrupt, more dangerous. The guards were openly racist. The prison gangs were constantly at war, and the administration turned a blind eye to prisoner abuse as long as it didn't create paperwork. Bumpy kept his head down, followed the rules, avoided confrontation. He was planning to appeal his conviction, and causing problems in prison would only hurt his case. But on November 12, 1952, at approximately 2:17 p.m., 7 corrections officers, all white, all with documented histories of racist violence against black inmates, cornered Bumpy Johnson in the prison workshop, beat him unconscious with nightsticks in an assault so brutal that it fractured his skull, broke 3 ribs, and left him comatose for 18 hours. What those 7 guards didn't know, what they couldn't have anticipated, despite their belief in their own invincibility as armed representatives of the state, was that Bumpy Johnson's criminal organization didn't stop functioning just because he was in prison. His crew on the outside was still operational, still loyal, still watching. And within 6 hours of the beating, while Bumpy was still unconscious in the prison infirmary, all 7 guards had been identified, located, and kidnapped from various locations across New York. By the time Bumpy regained consciousness at 8:23 a.m. Friday morning, all 7 guards had disappeared, vanished, gone. Their bodies would never be found. Their families would never get closure. And the message was unmistakable. You can beat Bumpy Johnson unconscious, but his organization will make you disappear before he wakes up. To understand what happened on November 12th and why the response was so swift, so comprehensive, and so permanent, you need to understand how Bumpy Johnson maintained power even from inside Sing Sing. Most criminal organizations fall apart when the boss goes to prison. Leadership vacuum, internal conflicts, competing factions. The organization fractures and dies. But Bumpy had been preparing for this possibility for 20 years. He'd built redundancy into his command structure, multiple lieutenants who could operate independently, clear chains of communication, established protocols for every scenario, including his incarceration. When Bumpy went to Singing in March 1952, he didn't lose control of his organization. He adapted daily phone calls through bribed guards, written messages smuggled out through visiting attorneys, face-to-face meetings with key lieutenants during approved visitations. The operation continued, numbers running, heroin distribution, protection rackets, all functioning normally despite Bumpy being locked in a cell. More importantly, Bumpy had established a security protocol. Any threat to him anywhere, including prison, triggered immediate investigation and response. Marcus Webb, Bumpy's top lieutenant on the outside, received daily reports from 3 informants inside Sing, guards on Bumpy's payroll, inmates who owed him favors, kitchen staff who overheard conversations. Nothing happened to Bumpy without Marcus knowing within hours this surveillance system was expensive. Bumpy was paying approximately $2,000 per week in bribes and informant fees, but it was worth it because on November 12, 1952, that system saved his life and destroyed 7 men who thought they could beat a prisoner without consequences. Thursday, November 12, 1952, 2:30 p.m. Sing Sing Prison Workshop. Bumpy Johnson is assigned to the carpentry workshop. It's mandatory labor. All inmates work. Bumpy's job is sanding wood planks that will eventually become furniture sold by the prison to generate revenue. It's monotonous, boring, but it's better than breaking rocks in the quarry or working the laundry in 120 degrees heat. Bumpy keeps to himself, doesn't cause problems, does his work, stays quiet. Surviving prison requires invisibility. The less attention you attract, the safer you are. At 2:15 p.m., the workshop supervisor, Corrections Officer Thomas Brennan, approaches Bumpy Johnson. "Warden wants to see you." "Come with me. This is unusual. Inmates don't get called to the warden's office during work hours unless something serious happened." Bumpy stands, follows Brennan. They walk through the workshop toward the exit, but instead of heading to the administrative building, Brennan leads Bumpy down a side corridor toward the storage area. Away from other inmates, away from witnesses. Warning bells go off in Bumpy's mind. This isn't right. This is a setup. Bumpy stops walking. Where are we going? Warden's office is the other direction. Brennan turns, smiles. Not friendly. Predatory. "Warden doesn't actually want to see you, Nan." "Ah, but we do," he signals. 6 more guards emerge from doorways. Corrections officers, Patrick Sullivan, Michael O'Brien, James McCarthy, Robert Mitchell, Daniel O'Connor, and William Donnelly. All white, all carrying nightsticks, all smiling. 7 guards, 1 prisoner, no witnesses. This is an execution squad. Bumpy backs against the wall, calculates. He's 48 years old, in decent shape, but not young. 7 armed guards versus 1 unarmed, middle-aged man. The math doesn't work. He can't fight his way out, can't run. There's nowhere to go, can't call for help. No one will come. He's trapped. Sullivan speaks first. "You think you're somebody, Johnson? Think you're important? You're nothing. Just another NR in a cage. And today you're going to learn what happens when NRS forget their place." He raises his nightstick. The others do the same. Bumpy doesn't respond, doesn't plead, doesn't show fear, just stands there waiting, dignified. If he's going to be beaten, he'll take it without giving them the satisfaction of seeing him beg. 217, page M. All 7 guards attack simultaneously. Nightstick swinging. The first blow catches Bumpy across the left shoulder. Bone-breaking impact. The second hits ribs, left side. 3 ribs fracture. The third catches his right arm. Defensive position useless. The 4th hits his head. Skull fracture. Bumpy drops. Consciousness fading. More blows. Ribs, back, legs, stomach. They're not just beating him, they're trying to kill him. Nightsticks rise and fall over and over. Bumpy curls into a fetal position, protecting his head as much as possible, but it's not enough. Another blow to the skull. Everything goes black. Bumpy Johnson is unconscious, broken, bleeding. The 7 guards stop, look down at him. Brennan nudges Bumpy with his boot. No response. He's out. Maybe dead. Either way, he won't be causing problems anymore. They laugh. Leave him there, unconscious in a pool of his own blood in a storage corridor where nobody goes. 2:45 p.m. An inmate, Gerald Red Patterson, who works in the workshop and owes Bumpy a favor from years ago, discovers Bumpy. Red's horrified. Bumpy's face is swollen beyond recognition. Blood everywhere. Unconscious, possibly dying. Red knows if he reports this, the guards will retaliate against him. But he also knows Bumpy saved his life once in 1947. Red owes him. He runs to find a guard he knows is on Bumpy's payroll, Officer Vincent Duca. They beat Bumpy bad. He's unconscious. He might be dead. You need to help him. Duca, one of Bumpy's inside informants, immediately calls for medical, gets Bumpy to the prison infirmary. The prison doctor examines him. Severe head trauma, skull fracture, 3 broken ribs, multiple contusions. He's komiomaosi, might not wake up. If he does, there could be permanent brain damage. We need to transfer him to a real hospital. But the warden, Walter Henderson, who was aware of the planned beating and approved it, refuses the transfer. He stays here. Prison infirmary is adequate. No special treatment for inmates. The doctor protests but is overruled. Bumpy stays in the prison infirmary. Unconscious, critical condition, receiving minimal medical care because the warden wants him to die. 3 meters. Officer Duca makes a phone call. Prison pay phone calls a number he's been instructed to call in emergencies. Marcus Webb answers. "Yeah, it's Duca." Singing. "We have a problem. Bumpy was beaten. 7 guards. Nightsticks. He's unconscious. Skull fracture. Broken ribs. Doctor says he might not wake up. They're refusing to transfer him to a hospital. This is bad. Marcus. Voice is ice. Who are the guards? Brennan, Sullivan, O'Brien, McCarthy, Mitchell, O'Connor, Donnelly, all involved. They cornered him in the workshop, beat him unconscious, left him to die. Is he going to survive? Doctor doesn't know. Says if he wakes up, there might be brain damage. If he doesn't wake up in 24 hours, he's probably not going to. Understood. You did good. Keep watching him. Report any changes immediately. And Duca, make sure those 7 gods don't go near him again. If they try to finish the job, you stop them. Whatever it takes. Understood. Marcus hangs up. Looks at his watch. 3:05 p.m. Bumpy's been unconscious for 48 minutes. Marcus has work to do. A lot of work and very little time. 3:15 p.m. Marcus Webb's office, Harlem. Marcus assembles Bumpy's core crew. Paul Williams, Jerome Patterson, Vincent Drake, Anthony Russo, Michael Chen, David Martinez. 6 men. The most trusted, the most capable, the most loyal. Marcus explains the situation. Bumpy was beaten unconscious by 7 guards at Sing. He's in critical condition. He might not survive, but whether he survives or not, those 7 guards are going to disappear today before Bumpy wakes up. If he wakes up to find out we didn't handle this, we failed him. If he dies and those guards walk free, we failed him. Either way, those men disappear permanently. Understood? Everyone nods. No questions, no hesitation. This is what they do. Marcus continues. We have 7 targets. I need full information on each one within 2 hours. Home addresses, families, routines, where they go after their shifts, what cars they drive, everything. Jerome, that's your job. Get me complete dossier by 5 p.m. Jerome nods. Consider it done. Paul, Vincent, Anthony, Michael, David, you're the extraction teams. Once we have addresses, you each take 1 target. Maybe 2 if we're short on manpower. I'll coordinate timing. All 7 need to disappear within a tight window. We can't grab one and have the others warned. This has to be simultaneous or near simultaneous, clean, professional, no witnesses, no traces. These men vanish and are never found. Clear, clear. We have approximately 6 hours before Bumpy might wake up. I want all 7 guards gone before that happens. If he wakes up at midnight, I want to be able to tell him the men who beat him are dead. If he wakes up tomorrow morning, same thing. This gets handled tonight. Move. 5 to page M. Jerome delivers 7 complete dossier. Thomas Brennan, 43, lives at 247 Maple Street, Yoners. Married, 3 kids, drives a 1949 Ford. Gets off shift at 11 p.m., usually home by 11:45 p.m. Patrick Sullivan, 39, lives at 891 Oak Avenue, White Plains, single, lives alone, drives a 1950 Chevrolet, gets off at 11 p.m., stops at Kelly's Tavern most nights, home by 1 a.m. Michael O'Brien, 37, lives at 432 Elm Street, Austining, married, 2 kids, drives a 1948 Plymouth, gets off at 11 p.m. home by 11:30 p.m. James McCarthy, 41, lives at 1653 Birch Lane, Tarrytown. Married, 1 kid, drives a 1951 Ford, gets off at 11 p.m., usually stops at diner home by midnight. Robert Mitchell, 45, lives at 789 Pine Street, Peekskill, divorced, lives alone, drives a 1949 Dodge, gets off at 11 p.m., sometimes goes to girlfriend's house. Daniel Aukener, 38, lives at 2341 Cedar Road, Mount Vernon. Married, 4 kids, drives a 1950 Buick, gets off at 11 p.m., always goes straight home. William Donnelly, 40, lives at 567 Willow Drive. New Rochelle, single, lives with mother, drives a 1948 Chevrolet, gets off at 11 p.m., usually home by midnight. Marcus studies the files. All 7 guards get off shift at 11 p.m. That's the window, between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., when they're traveling home, stopping at bars or diners, distracted and alone. That's when they're vulnerable. That's when they disappear. 11 p.m. Thursday night. All 7 guards finish their shifts, clock out, head to their cars. None of them worried, none of them scared. They beat a prisoner 8 hours ago. So what? It happens all the time. Prisoners can't retaliate. Prisoners have no power. They're safe. Protected by their uniforms. Protected by the state. Protected by a system that doesn't punish guards for brutality. They're wrong. 11:17 p.m. Thomas Brennan. Brennan's driving home. Route 9 toward Yonkers. Thinking about tomorrow. About weekend plans. About his wife's birthday next week. He doesn't notice the black Cadillac following him. Doesn't notice when it pulls alongside at a red light. Doesn't notice the driver until Paul Williams points a gun at him through the window. Pull over now, or I shoot you in your car and your family identifies you by your teeth. Brennan pulls over, shaking. What do you want? Money? I have money. Get out. Hands visible. Brennan complies. Paul's partner, Vincent Drake, zip ties Brennan's hands, throws him in the trunk. They drive, not to Yonkers, to a warehouse in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Bumpy's organization owns dozens of properties in industrial areas. Empty building, soundproof, private, perfect for this kind of work. 11:23 p.m. Patrick Sullivan. Sullivan's at Kelly's Tavern having his usual post-shift drink. Whiskey. He's telling the bartender about beating the prisoner today, laughing. You should have seen him. Thought he was tough. Thought he was somebody, but he went down like everyone else. They all bleed the same. Sullivan doesn't notice the 2 men who entered 5 minutes ago. Doesn't notice them positioning themselves near the exit. When Sullivan finishes his drink and heads for the door, Anthony Russo and Michael Chen are waiting outside. Dark parking lot. Patrick Sullivan. Yeah, who's asking? Anthony shoots him with a tranquilizer dart, military grade. Sullivan drops in 4 seconds. They load him into a van. Drive to Brooklyn. Second warehouse. Different location. Same purpose. 11:35 p.m. Michael O'Brien's driving home to Austining. Tired. Long shift. Thinking about sleep. His car starts making a strange noise. Engine trouble. He pulls over. Frustrated. Opens the hood. Can't see anything obvious wrong. A tow truck pulls up behind him. Good timing. Need help? The driver asks. It's David Martinez. Yeah, engine's acting up. Can you take a look? David walks over, looks at the engine. I see the problem. He hits O'Brien with a tire iron. One blow. O'Brien drops. David loads him into the tow truck. Drives to Brooklyn, third warehouse. 11:52 p.m. James McCarthy. Robert Mitchell. Daniel Okener. William Donnelly. The remaining 4 guards are taken using similar methods. McCarthy grabbed at the diner. Mitchell intercepted leaving his girlfriend's house. Okener grabbed from his driveway. Donnelly taken walking from his car to his mother's house. Professional, clean, quick, no witnesses, no struggles. By 12:30 a.m., 90 minutes after their shifts ended, all 7 guards are in Bumpy's warehouses. Unconscious or restrained, disappeared. 1 a.m. Friday, November 13th. Marcus Webb stands in the main warehouse. All 7 guards are here now, brought from different locations, tied to chairs, starting to wake up, groggy, confused, terrified. Marcus addresses them. My name is Marcus Webb. I work for Bumpy Johnson, the man you beat unconscious 8 hours ago. He's currently in a coma. He might die. He might wake up with brain damage. He might wake up fine. I don't know yet. But what I do know is this. Whether he lives or dies, you 7 are never going home. You're going to disappear completely. Your families will never find you. Your bodies will never be recovered. You'll just be gone. Missing. Unsolved. That's what happens when you touch Bumpy Johnson. Brennan tries to talk. Please, we were just doing our jobs. He's a criminal. We didn't mean. Marcus shoots him. Headshot. Brennan's dead before he finishes the sentence. The other 6 guards scream, beg, cry. Doesn't matter. Marcus shoots all 7 methodically, professionally. Headshot execution style. In 5 minutes, all 7 guards are dead. Marcus looks at his cleanup crew. Bodies go in the Hudson. Waded deep water. I want them gone. No traces. And make sure their cars are found abandoned in different locations. Make it look like they ran away, disappeared voluntarily. Stage the crew works. By 4 a.m., all 7 bodies are in the Hudson River, weighted with chains and concrete blocks, sinking to depths where they'll never be recovered. The guards' cars are found over the next week in various locations, airports, bus stations, train depots, suggesting they fled, abandoned their families, disappeared. 8:23 a.m. Friday, November 13th. Sing Sing Prison Infirmary. Bumpy Johnson's eyes open slowly, painfully. His head is pounding. His ribs scream with every breath. He can't move without agony, but he's awake, conscious, alive. The prison doctor is shocked. "Mr. Johnson, you're awake." That's remarkable. You've been unconscious for 18 hours. We weren't sure you'd wake up." Bumpy's voice is hoarse. "What happened?" "You were beaten severely. Skull fracture, broken ribs. You were in a coma, but you're awake now. That's good. Can you tell me your name?" "Bumpy Johnson." "Do you know where you are?" "Sing." "Good. Your cognitive function seems intact. No obvious brain damage. You're very lucky." Bumpy doesn't feel lucky. He feels like he was beaten with nightsticks because he was. Officer Duca enters, looks at Bumpy, nods. Bumpy understands. "Duca called Marcus. How long was I out?" 18 hours, the doctor says. "You woke up at 8:23 a.m. Bumpy does the math. He was beaten at 2:17 p.m. yesterday. It's now 8:23 a.m. the next day. 18 hours unconscious. He wonders if Marcus handled it. If the gods are gone, he'll find out soon. 10 a.m. Bumpy gets a visitor. His attorney, Samuel Cohen, who's actually just a messenger. They speak privately. "How are you feeling?" "Like I was beaten by 7 guards with nightsticks." "About those 7 guards. They've disappeared. All of them didn't show up for their shifts this morning. Their families reported them missing. Police are investigating, but they're gone. Vanished between 11 p.m. last night and now all 7 simultaneously. Very strange." Bumpy understands. Marcus handled it. While Bumpy was unconscious, his crew identified all 7 guards, grabbed them, and made them disappear permanently before Bumpy woke up. The timing is perfect. Bumpy was beaten at 2:17 p.m. unconscious by 2:18 p.m. guards disappeared between 11 p.m. and midnight. Bumpy woke at 8:23 a.m. The guards were gone before he regained consciousness. Exactly as it should be. The investigation. NYPD investigates the disappearance of 7 Sing corrections officers. All 7 vanished the same night. All 7 last seen leaving work. Their cars are found abandoned at various locations, suggesting they fled. But why? Why would 7 guards suddenly abandon their jobs and families the same night? Investigators interview colleagues discover that all 7 participated in beating a prisoner, Bumpy Johnson, earlier that day. That prisoner was unconscious when the guards disappeared. Still unconscious. Can't have ordered retaliation. The timing doesn't work. How could an unconscious man coordinate the disappearance of 7 people? The investigation goes nowhere. No bodies, no witnesses, no evidence. Just 7 missing guards and 1 beaten prisoner. The case remains open, unsolved. The guards are never found. The message. The story spreads through the prison system instantly. 7 guards beat Bumpy Johnson unconscious. Before Bumpy woke up, all 7 guards disappeared. Never found. The message is unmistakable. Bumpy Johnson's organization doesn't stop functioning when he's unconscious. His crew operates independently. You beat him into a coma. They make you vanish while he's still sleeping. You don't even get to see him wake up. You're just gone, disappeared, dead. Prison guards at Sing Sing never touched Bumpy Johnson again, never harassed him, never even spoke to him disrespectfully, because 7 of their colleagues learned what happens when you beat Bumpy unconscious. They disappear before he wakes up. Not a threat. A documented fact. 7 bodies in the Hudson River. Never recovered, never found, gone. November 12th, 1952. 217-page M. 7 guards beat Bumpy unconscious. November 13th, 1952. 8:23 a.m. Bumpy wakes up. All 7 guards already disappeared. 18 hours unconscious. 7 men gone. They beat him into a coma. His organization made them vanish before he woke. That's not revenge. That's not even retaliation. That's Bumpy Johnson demonstrating that his power doesn't require his consciousness. His crew operates even when he's comatose. Beat him unconscious? Fine. You'll disappear before he wakes up. Proven. Permanent.